birthday.
5 minutes. Thank you.
Second.
This video, you've read the title, let's go. 5 things I love about Sri Lanka. So, the first thing I love about Sri Lanka is a thing you would easily expect because it's also in the other videos, but it's the people. Oh, hello.
Yeah, bro.
Everything good?
Yeah. Go and come.
And now you think, oh, what's so special about the people in Sri Lanka? Especially after traveling like India, Nepal, Vietnam and so on. I'm Domi.
Okay. Where are you from?
Germany.
Okay, fine.
I'm
I am
gonna...
Sri Lanka.
Huh?
I am Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka is nice.
Okay.
You know, people in Sri Lanka always smile. People in Sri Lanka are happy.
Take it, sit down.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. The people in Sri Lanka, they are like next level friendly. Like Sri Lankan people, for some reason, even though it's a super touristy place, so they are used to tourists, they are just like so friendly people and so happy people. And especially with the recent Sri Lankan crisis with the government and stuff. I was there at exactly that time. It's now, I think like 7 or 8 months ago. 9 months? Yeah. Oh no, 10 or 11 months ago, Sri Lanka already. Time goes fast, but even in these times, people were still so happy. Like, Sri Lankan people were some of the most happy people I ever met, even though their situation was bad. Like, they were all very angry about the fuel prices and the government and stuff, but they were all very happy. Like, Sri Lankan people, they are so happy. They invite you to their home and all that stuff. Like, you know, the same from India, but in Sri Lanka it's even on another level. Like, Sri Lankan people, they just have a very happy and very relaxed life. So I have so many very good friends from Sri Lanka now, and a lot of you may not know, but like half of my subscribers are actually from Sri Lanka. And yeah, with Sri Lankan people you're gonna have an awesome time. And yeah, because I'm here in Germany filming right now, I'm just gonna put a lot of clips over me talking from Sri Lanka, so at least you can see some stuff. And yeah, shout out to the Sri Lankan people. You're the best. And the next point I really love about Sri Lanka is the thing that's mostly important for tourists, and it's like how easy it is to travel through Sri Lanka. If you don't know, Sri Lanka is actually a very tiny island. Like, it's not so tiny, but it's not big. Like, from one end to the other, it's maybe like 300 kilometers or something. So it's actually super easy for a foreigner in Sri Lanka to just travel from one point to another, either with a bus or with the train. Also, the train rides in Sri Lanka are probably the most beautiful train rides in the world.
Colombo train.
This Colombo train.
Colombo train. No. Number 3 platform here. Colombo train going to the Colombo. Blue trains. Yeah. Big indoor.
So first this.
Superstar.
Okay.
Hurry.
Okay.
Superstar.
Now up? No. Oh, okay. That's crazy.
Hi, Australia.
Oh, people are so happy to see us. So it's like super easy. If I compare it to the neighbor country India, in India it's so much harder and so much more stressful to like travel from one point to another. While in Sri Lanka it's the easiest thing ever. You just get up in the morning, you go to the train station, you say, hey, I want a ticket to Nuvara Elia or Kandy tomorrow or today. You pay, you get your ticket, it's done. No hours of queues, no waiting lists, no such stuff. It's just super easy to travel. So if you don't want to make the mistake I did, because I spent like 2 weeks just in Colombo, Sri Lanka, until I realized how easy it is to travel Sri Lanka. So if you come to Sri Lanka, don't just visit like 2 or 3 places. Try to visit 10 places, because it's just so easy to travel. Like, it's so easy to get a bus or anything. It can take a few hours to take the ride, but that's normal in those places. But overall, it's like super simple. Like, if you see a nice place in Sri Lanka and you think, oh, I want to see this place, you will need less than 24 hours to get there. So it's a very easy thing compared to like different journeys, like India, Guwahati to Mumbai. It's a 4 or 5 day train journey. Sri Lanka is easy to travel. Don't make the mistake and stay in 1 or 2 places. Try to visit 10 places. It's super easy to get around in Sri Lanka. And as I said before, people are awesome. They're gonna help you. So we get to the next point, and it actually ties into the next point after this, and it's the nature. Most people, when they hear Sri Lanka, they just think about some tourist beaches or something like this, or maybe they hear about the city Colombo. But what a lot of people don't know is that Sri Lanka, yes, it's a very round island, but the beach is only on the outside of the island, obviously. But once you leave the outskirts of Sri Lanka and you go into the inside of the country, you will see so much diversity in nature and stuff. Like, I have to say, Sri Lanka has some of the most beautiful nature I've ever seen in all of my journeys. Like, Sri Lanka is just beautiful. It has so many mountains, but it's not like mountains like in the Himalaya in Nepal. It's like relaxed, tiny mountains, but very green. Like, Sri Lanka is one of the greenest places on earth. And I would recommend you, if you're traveling Sri Lanka, try to use the train. Because the train rides to Sri Lanka, as I said earlier, they're the most beautiful train rides ever. And you will find so many different areas in Sri Lanka you wouldn't expect, because it's just like a 300-kilometer island. You have beautiful beaches, you will find the wild Komodo dragons and stuff like this there. But once you go inside the country, you will see like so many colorful birds, so much greenery. Like, I'm sure I have some clips I can show you. Like, Sri Lanka inside the country is just awesome. So much to see in the nature. And the best thing is, especially for Europeans like me, when we go to countries like this, it's often way too hot for us. Like Colombo, for example, is a very hot place. But if you go into the center of the country and you just pick like a higher area like Nuwara Elia or close to Kandy, you will have like very decent weather for a foreigner, for a westerner, like 20 degrees instead of like 40. So Sri Lanka has a lot of nature, and a lot of people actually don't know this about Sri Lanka. You even find elephants and all that stuff. So it's a very, 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 very green place. So don't underestimate the nature in Sri Lanka, and don't just book a holiday at the beach. Better go to the heart of Sri Lanka. It's much better adventure. So yeah. As I said, this perfectly ties into the next point, and this is the diversity of Sri Lanka. So as I said, Sri Lanka is a very, very small place. But within this small place, if you just travel for like 2 hours, 3 hours, you will suddenly be in a completely different world. Because, as I said, in the center of Sri Lanka you have a lot of mountains, a lot of greenery, and on the outside you have a lot of beaches and stuff. So within like a few hours you can completely change the place you are at. Or, as I said earlier, let's say you take a train ride from Kandy to Nuwara Elia, as I also did. Within a few hours you will see so much beautiful nature and so much different places, and suddenly you're in a completely different climate. Like in Nuwara Elia, I had to put on long clothes because it was cold. And just a day earlier I was burning in Kandy, and just 2 weeks earlier I was burning in Colombo. So there's just so many different things to see which you wouldn't expect in such a small country. So the diversity within such a small place is just great for people that want to explore, because not like in India, you don't have to travel like 2,000 kilometers to see something else. In Sri Lanka you just travel like 50 kilometers, 100 kilometers. So Sri Lanka has huge diversity, And many people don't know this about Sri Lanka. Many people actually don't know much about Sri Lanka, so yeah, that was a short point, and let's get to the next one. So the last point about Sri Lanka is something. Oh, it's been raining. Let me sit in the house here. It's something I also mentioned in the videos about Nepal or India, and it only affects like Westerners or travelers. It's not so much about the locals, and it's the price. Well, maybe this house is too small for me. It's the prices. Like Sri Lanka, same as Nepal, India, and so on. They have the rupee, different rupee, but it's just like for a Westerner to come there, or just anyone that's outside of this area, life can be very, very cheap. Like very, very cheap compared to the rest of the world. I have to say, I'm sorry my Sri Lankan viewers, I'm very sorry, but the food is not as good as in India, not even close, not even slightly close. So it's cheap, but it's not as good as India, for example. But like transport, hotels, food, maybe entertainment or something, it's all very, very cheap in Sri Lanka. So with like 1 month of European salary, you can live in Sri Lanka for a year. So Sri Lanka is like super cheap. But as I said, if you want cheap, good food, better go to India. I'm very sorry. I hope this video doesn't get too many dislikes. And I hope you still enjoyed, even though I'm here in Frankfurt, Germany, filming this, walking around in a park. But I have so many people I like and so many friends from Sri Lanka, and also next video Nepal. And everybody wants me to make a video like this. So here it is. I hope you enjoyed. You know, the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, anything. And also I forget to tell this in like every video I film. I have an Instagram, it's always in the description, and if you want to meet me or you want to know where I am, check my Instagram, because oftentimes I upload videos way later than they were filmed. Like my recent Vietnam videos, they were filmed like 3 weeks ago. So if you want to know where I'm right now and see what I'm doing, check my Instagram. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'm gonna record the same video for Nepal now, and then my Germany vlog is gonna start. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.